And last for this evening, but certainly not least, is Traut Elementary. And as has been in the news, Traut was designated as a 2013 National Blue Ribbon School. And so Mark Wertheimer, Traut Elementary Principal, there you are, Mark, is here to come up to the podium with Board Director Jim Hayes to tell us about this national honor.
Why don't you talk a little bit about the selection criteria?
Well, it's really a privilege to come up here, and the first thing I did was shake hands with a former parent partner at Traut Core Knowledge School. He was actually on our PAB, Parent Advisory Board, and today we had the opportunity to meet with some folks from Channel 31. They say, why is it you become this? And first of all, I have to start with our vision, is educational excellence in knowledge, skills, and character with strong parent, teacher, student partnerships. And that kind of puts it in a nutshell, that 5-pillar approach that we have there at that school. I'm just kind of maintaining what already got started there. I'll tell you this, it's a privilege to be up here, but I'm representing a legacy of 20 years of this kind of dedication, this kind of, everybody's doing their job there. And so when it's that kind of thing, it becomes a dream job. It becomes something that I can write some documentation for because there's all that great stuff behind us. So anyway, Jim, I want to thank you for all your years of parent partnership, not only at Traut, but now here on the Poudre School Board. I think that this is a representation of where this whole district is headed. We can just see this thing continue to get higher and higher, and our achievement continuing to grow, our growth going through the ceiling in a number of areas. So congratulations to the whole district. This is really a district award.
But talk a little bit about what the award is and how
the award is that I was called by the Colorado Department of Education and said, looks like you've been having a very high-achieving, high-growth school for some time. How would you like to be nominated for the Blue Ribbon Award? So I said, sure. And then I went to work on the 20, 30 pages of documentation that was required for such a thing. And so we've gone through that. We've had the various acknowledgments. We had our 20-year celebration along with our Blue Ribbon celebration, and we had Sandra Smizer come there and present to us there, and continue to get lots of people wanting to market their various Blue Ribbon things to us. We have a lot of recognition for different areas. Next week, I get to go to Washington, D.C., 15 seconds of fame there, and probably meet with the Secretary of Education there. And what it is that there are two different ways this award is earned, and the way that this is established is that you are nominated. The one that I really like to look at are those schools that have managed to do the closing of growth gaps with at-risk populations. The ones that have taken these populations that historically just cannot seem to get any growth, move them on up and get that growth closed and that growth gap closed. And so that's a big one. Now, we are honored for our ongoing, continued high growth, high achievement status. And so that, again, takes quite a bit of work. You can't stay there at that real sweet spot without working hard. So even though we keep on knocking against the ceiling, we keep on taking our strokes. So I'll just stop with this little analogy. Is that I don't know about you, but I like swimming in rivers, especially ones that have been designed for kayakers. And even though the kayakers don't like you in that same river with them, there are some great spots where these rivers come down into these sluices, into these deep pockets of water. And you can swim in those. You don't have to touch bottom or anything. And you can stay in that same sweet spot that kayakers like to find. Right at the base of that falls where it hits that pool. And you have to stroke hard and strong, kind of dipping even your hands into that waterfall just to stay right there in that sweet spot. Now, if you try to push too hard, you can get dunked under and swept downstream, or if you kind of get back on your laurels. I remember Casey saying, we're not sitting back on our laurels. All of a sudden, you find yourself swept downstream. So staying in that sweet spot, that is our growth plan. That is our improvement plan, is to be able to stay in that spot. It's a tough place, and I honor all those folks, the legacy that's gone before me, the people who are currently there, the teachers, the parents, and the students.
Good. So originally I wasn't supposed to be doing this. I was supposed to be a different award, and I asked Nancy if I could do this award because Traut has a fond place in my heart. As Mark talked about, it's 20 years. It was started as Washington Core Knowledge School over at a little older school that's now part of CSU's property in 1993. It was the first core knowledge school west of the Mississippi. It sort of begat Liberty Common, which sort of begat Ridgeview, and then begat O'Day and what's the other Elementary School.
Bethke, and we got Zach.
Yeah, so all of those schools, and then begat Kennard, because parents were disappointed because it's an kindergarten through 8th grade program, and after 6th grade at that time there was no middle school to go to, and now we have Kennard as a middle school, and we have Liberty and Ridgeview that are going through the full 8th grade that originally was part of the core knowledge curriculum. And it's interesting also, you talked about the improving schools being up for this award, and I know that core knowledge to a large degree was originally designed to be for inner city schools, to get that core knowledge education. So that's originally where it was developed. What's his name?
E.D. Hirsch.
Yeah, E.D. Hirsch at the University of Virginia. So there's been 2 principals, pretty amazing. Over 20 years, there's only been 2 principals at Traut. And first was Art Dillon, who was there for, I guess, about 16, 17 years, something like that. 14 years. 14 years. 13. And then you've been there for the other 7 years. And my daughters actually spanned across both of them. I had daughters there from 1993 to, from 1997 to 2009, so it spanned both of you. And you talked about it. Those 5 pillars have been in place since the school started. That was the founding parents put those 5 pillars in place. They've been there, and I think my most favorite of the 5 is the character education piece and the parent partnership piece. My 2 favorite pieces, and the parent partnership piece is there's a parent advisory board and a teacher advisory board, a staff advisory board. I can't remember, but
It's staff.
yeah, staff, and it is true government or governing at the school level.
it is.
And the other thing about it, with the character piece, was that what I always liked was, instead of just having these 12 character qualities up on the wall, those 12 character qualities were integrated into the teaching. So whenever you had lessons, those qualities were highlighted in the lesson plan. If you read a book, you looked at character qualities. And I always liked that piece of it versus saying we're going to have character qualities and we're going to talk about them maybe once a day or something like that. So I've always really appreciated the school. It's great recognition, and you should be very proud of what you accomplished.
Dream job. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.